joining us on another episode of Unboxed. Today I have Bassem Hamdy of Procore, and he's going to be demoing some of their online tools. Afterwards, Bassem and I are going to sit down with Vice President of McHugh Construction, Ray Cisco, and we're going to talk with Ray about how he uses Procore's tools at the executive level. But before we get into any of that, Bassem, do you mind just letting us know what you're going to be unboxing today?
Absolutely. First, I want to thank Built Worlds for just inviting us here and having this amazing space that everybody needs to see in Chicago.
Thank you.
No problem. We're going to look at drawings in our product, really drawing-centric project execution, the linking of photos, cost enabling your drawings so you don't have to go back to the trailer and do your forecasts. We're going to look at our quality performance management tool, which allows you to do inspections and track issues on your project. And then finally, we're going to look at a new tool called specifications that allows you to carry around the rule book for your project on your iPad. So that's what we're going to be focusing on.
Awesome. Well, while Bassem is giving his demonstration, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to put those in the comment section on the live stream. If there's any questions that we ourselves can't get to, then we could just get to those at the question and answer section at the end. All right, but without further ado, I'm going to let Bassem get away to his unboxing.
Thank you. So for those that are watching, once you've actually downloaded the Procore app, a couple of things you need to know. We don't license per user, so every person on a project team has the ability to run the mobile app disconnected or connected, meaning with or without Wi-Fi or cellular connection, giving you the ability to have everybody on the project team really collaborate. This is our Aloha project. I don't know if you guys know where Procore is. We're in Carpinteria. It's a beautiful piece of the world. Definitely come by. This project has a series of tools. This is a subset of everything that we offer, both on the mobile and the web app. If we look at the drawings tool, what you're actually seeing is the current set of drawings. That means everybody walking around the job site with access to Procore has the ability to see what is real at the given moment in time. If I was to open up any one of these drawings, what you see is a set of markup tools that are available. Something as simple as adding a photo is taking the photo, giving you guys a look at this gorgeous Built World studio and a few people, including Doug Matty. Thank you, Doug, from Procore. And right there, you have the ability now, whenever somebody walks around the site, that's being pinned and published and gives you the ability to share those photos. But that's only part of the story. Drawing-centric project management allows you to cost enable your drawing. So let's say there is an issue on the project and you want to link an RFI. So we're going to link that RFI. We're going to scroll down here. I'm going to select one that's already existing. And I'm going to just zoom into that RFI real quick. What this gives you the ability to do is to create a change event. So what does that mean? It means that if there's a problem on site, and you don't know what the scope or magnitude might be, but you as a construction professional or any of your collaborators understands that something might be going wrong, I'm actually able to put in a title and then a rough order of magnitude. What does that give us? That gives us the instant ability when forecasting to view everything that's been accumulated over the day, the week, or the month. So instead of waiting in the old school way of forecasting on the 27th of the month, you can actually have a rolling real-time forecast based on the knowledge and intelligence of your entire field team. Very important function. A couple other things, as you know, we have punch list tools as well as other text markups. It's a fully articulated, extremely fast drawing tool. Now let's go on to the next part of the demo. One thing that we like to talk about a lot is the fact that at Groundbreak, we released our quality and safety performance management toolset. What this allows you to do, integrated with the project management platform, is do things that traditionally are done in a standalone app. Here's the ability to actually have an inspector walk around site, view a predetermined list of items that they need to inspect, drill into them, and in the case that there is an issue, create what we call an observation. Now, this is a great way of talking about Procore's user-centric development approach. Lots of systems call these issues. When we polled our client base, they thought that felt too negative, so we went with observations. And what an observation gives you the ability to do is start creating the workflow around fixing problems on site driven by inspections. Great part of the product, not a separate app, included in the entire platform. Finally, we're going to talk a little bit about specifications. Some of you have probably heard of Groundbreak. Groundbreak is not only our annual user conference, but a technology summit for construction. At Groundbreak, we released a series of new apps, and one of the apps that we released was specifications. Now, this is more than just having a document on your iPad. This is a living, versioned document of the specs, which allows everybody from an iPhone or an iPad the ability to get the rule book for what you're actually building in the field. So forget about the days of having to walk back to the trailer, pull the estimate binder off the table, and start looking at the specification. This is real-time spec management. It's available to subcontractors, owners, architects, and of course your general contractor employees. So for that, in this very short demo, that's just a brief run through, and I'm going to turn it back over to the team at Built World.
All right, thank you, Bassem. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but don't go anywhere because we have a Q&A session afterwards with Ray Cisco from McHugh Construction and Bassem again.
We live in an age of smart, an age of smartphones, smart appliances, and smart homes, an age where connected devices are improving lives and revolutionizing work. From job sites to generators to machines of all sizes, this is the age where iron flexes its intelligence, where the machinery that enriches lives, powers businesses, and builds communities is given the connectivity to be even safer, more efficient, and more productive. This is the age where our industry evolves, the age where job sites become their own networks, where entire fleets speak the same language, and where work gets done faster with fewer setbacks. This is the new era of smart, and CAT is built for it. Welcome to the age of smart iron.
What is the built environment? Well, you're surrounded by it right now. All the buildings, parks, the infrastructure, and the urban planning, investment, and policy that goes into creating the cities of the world. Collectively, it's the world's oldest industry. And for as long as it's been around, things haven't changed much. It's a giant sector of our economy. In 2015, the built environment accounted for $8.5 trillion. But new tech calls for new methods. It's time to move forward. At Built Worlds, we cultivate a smarter built environment and a better approach to creating and maintaining it. Through our website, live streaming network of programming, and our special written features, our mission is to push the industry forward. We do this by stimulating dialogue, facilitating connections, reaching out to future generations, and promoting a deeper understanding of the new and emerging tech applications and possibilities that empower us all. To address the challenges of our evolving built environment, we must put forth and share fresh ideas together. Watch, listen, learn. Built Worlds, building better ideas.
All right, well, welcome back. I'm here with Bassem Hamdy again, and then this is Ray Cisco. I'm with McHugh Construction. We're going to get into our questions and answers session now. All right, but first, before we get into anything, I just have to ask about Procore's Pokemon Go video.
Thank you.
First, it's hilarious, and it's very timely. I think everyone had a kick out of that. Does that have any representation of what it's like working at Procore? Because it's very fun.
The backstory on the Pokemon Go video is actually really important to note. We conceived and shot the video and then released the video within about 48 hours. So wow. When we actually thought of something, we did it and we executed it. It's getting great reviews, and I think that's a really good indication of how Procore even develops software.
So now, have you heard any stories about people thinking they have all this time on their hands and they're now playing Pokemon Go during their break?
There's probably some small print at the end of the video we need to add in. Do not walk off the building while playing Pokemon Go.
Probably smart. Well, all right, so to stay on topic, Ray, so Bassem just talked about some of those Procore's tools. What I want to ask you is, how do you specifically, on a day-to-day basis, how do you use those tools?
Well, I use it more of on a high level. I oversee multiple jobs, so I'm using it to, when I'm getting calls, I can access it from my phone because I travel between jobs a lot, looking at drawings. If someone's asking me a question, I can pull up the RFI immediately from my phone. If there's an issue on the site, they can take a photo and it instantly comes right to my phone. Being that I travel a lot between job sites, it's become really useful, and that, on my phone, on the iPad, or on my computer if I have that set up right then. So that's really how much I use it for that stuff. My teams use it day to day on everything, RFI submittals and all that stuff.
So at the executive level, how do you make that choice? Like, how did you choose Procore's tools? Like, what were some of the things that kind of led up to that? And then how did you overall decide to go with Procore?
Well, we did an extensive search. We looked at all their competition and every single one of them. And being a larger general contractor, they were all wanted our business. So it was an extensive process. And at the end of the day, it was really the ease of use. We brought it in front of the executive team and showed them how you could do this, and everyone said, wow, that's easy. And that was really the main reason, was the easy use, to be honest with you.
And it's easy to use for the people who are on the job site and the people who are back in the office.
Correct.
And whatnot? Okay,
yes.
That's super important.
Yes.
Is that one of the things that you guys consider, Bassem, at Procore? Like, does it have easy usability? Yeah.
Actually, that's one of our brand values, is time to productivity. Having the ability to use the software with minimal or no training. If you can't do that, then your system or solution is actually dragging your company back. There's a lot of solutions out there that cause, weeks of training, measuring implementation in years, if you can imagine that. Procore goes live in days and weeks. So it's a very different viewpoint, and we have an amazing R&D team, huge investment in there. Product and R&D works together with the entire org and our customers in something called Innovation Labs, where we invite folks down to Carpinteria to sit down and help co-develop software. And our UX department watches our users actually function in the software and say, well, this doesn't make sense, this is too many clicks, this is too many touches, and that's how we constantly push the boundary on our experience.
And to expand on that, we have a lot of people who were not technologically savvy and get worried that I'm going to send something, I'm going to spell it wrong, but the way they've created the product, it's a lot of drop downs, and even those individuals, especially doing their daily reports and things like that, are right on top of it. Because it's very easy.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I think one of the other things that we are focusing on is our strong commitment to customer success. Mm-hmm. So in a lot of cases, we have superintendents going on chat support and getting questions answered, but we also have subcontractors, architects, engineers, their collaborators, the construction company's collaborators, getting help the same way they would get help. And I think if you ever do get stuck, that's kind of that emergency lane you need to go into. So we're focusing on customer success, not just for the paying client, but all of their collaborators, and I think that's an important note.
Well, since we're speaking about collaboration, I know we kind of touched base on that in the unboxing as well. For you, Ray, do you find it's easy to collaborate with your teams? Because you said you do manage multiple projects at a time. Do you find it's a lot easier to have this like solution where you're able to contact your teams and not actually have to, maybe either call them up, or I'm sure there's lots of different ways.
Yeah, from my level, a lot of it's on the phone, I can pull it up, but from the standpoint of the teams themselves, collaborating with the architect, the owner, the subcontractors, yes. That has become very easy for them. And as you mentioned, the support, calling the live hotline, getting someone on the phone right away, and they can resolve your answers quickly, has helped with that collaboration process, because now people aren't afraid to use it. And from an overall, for me personally, maybe not as much, but from the teams themselves, yes, they're collaborating all within themselves much more now.
One of the tools that we unboxed was the specifications tools. And I thought that was, prior to this, I did my research on it, and I didn't realize that one of those books has like hundreds of pages. Mm-hmm. And I guess, like you had said, you would actually have to go to like a trailer and view it there. Because I couldn't imagine having to lug around, to every site. From those books, I'm sure there's lots of info, right, that helps move a project along.
Yep.
Does it having, especially for you, Ray, does it having it in like a mobile, you can take it with you wherever you go, does that help with getting the project moving and helping you get the information you need in a timely manner?
Absolutely. If you're sitting out in the field and you've got to look at a detail real quick, you can do two things. You can pull up the specification. What did they call for? Was there a specific product they called out? Two, it relates to the drawings because you can pull the drawing up, that exact detail and look at it. So you can pull up the drawing detail, you can pull up the specification, and as you mentioned before, you don't have to walk down to the trailer. We do a lot of high rises when you're on the 40th floor. To get back down to the trailer takes time. So it definitely helps in the ease and speed of everything.
Is that something or how did y'all decide to come up with that tool? Was it like users were like, we need a tool that puts all of this in our iPads, in our phones? Like, how did y'all?
We actually crowdsourced innovation, and it was the #1 voted innovation.
Wow.
So we put a team on it. We have these things called squads. They're like mini startups within Procore, and the squads consist of developers, product managers, UX designers, and they went out and they started interviewing our clients. They do thousands of interviews a month to find out what's really important out there, and they developed specifications, which we unboxed at Groundbreak in 2016.
All
What year is it?
I think 2016. Okay, for you, Ray, of all the tools that we talked about here, or of any of Procore's tools, which, given your position, what do you think is the most beneficial to you in the work that you do day in and day out?
There's probably a couple, but in general, maybe the photos. It's really easy when you're not there, they're on site, they can take a photo, they can explain it, and then relate it to the drawings. So I would say the drawings tab and maybe the photos tab seem to be my most beneficial from what I do on my level. Yeah, okay. It's nice to be able to see, and I can check the progress, right?
Yeah.
See everybody's working.
Are they take some photos? What's people doing, right?
Okay, well, I was just checking the iPad, and we actually have some questions that came in through the stream. This one is for Bassem. Could you talk a little bit about your app in the marketplace and the vision with it, and then how it would affect someone in a VP seat like Ray?
So what they're talking about is marketplace.procore.com, which is one of the most extensive construction app stores out there. Connections to scheduling tools and accounting tools. I think what's different about our marketplace is that if you roll back in technology, most integrations were one-offs, trying to connect a project management solution with, let's say, a scheduling tool or an accounting tool. The marketplace takes that and gives it almost a consumer feel because it's an off-the-shelf integration. So if you look at our integration with Sage 300 or QuickBooks, which was recently released, it's not custom developed for each client. And the marketplace gives a standardization to our clients so that they're not custom and requiring a whole bunch of extra support. The vision long-term for the marketplace is to do what we do well and let the other great players in the construction space do what they do well, and let Procore be the hub of that. We're never going to write an AP solution, but there are a lot of great ones out there. So we want to connect with the best in class and make that easy and consumable by our clients.
Okay, well, thank you. I hope they got that answer out there. Another question is, can you explain a little bit more? We had spoken about Groundbreak.
Yes.
Can you explain a little bit more detail what Groundbreak is and who should attend such an event?
Oh, excellent. So Groundbreak is a technology construction summit. It's also Procore's user group. So it's twofold. We have a lot of thought leaders coming out. It's in Austin this year, March 29th. Check your email. The site will be launched very shortly. Folks that need to go there, we have an executive track that involves things, how to grow a business. So we have talks with major CEOs as well as how to recruit. We all know that there's a massive labor shortage. So we're bringing in some thought leaderships on how to recruit and retain. Believe it or not, one of the top ROI initiatives for some of our clients is they want to retain talent. Right. So when somebody comes out of school, they want the ability to say, hey, you're using best-in-class technology. So that's another big part of what Groundbreak is all about. We have project managers and superintendents all the way to CEOs that are coming for the executive track. We have some great celebrity keynotes that are coming out. They're still in contract, so we're not going to talk about them just yet, but it'll definitely be worth everybody's time in Austin. And I'm going to tell you, Austin is our largest satellite office. We're building out a massive space in the Chase building there, and it's a great town. If you haven't been there, you have to go. Yeah. And we have the Austin Convention Center, March 29th.
I'm actually from Austin, so it may be a good excuse to go home. Check that out. Well, thank you guys again for joining us today
No
for our
problem.
episode of Unboxed. And thank you all for tuning in for this episode. If you want to learn more about Procore, you can go to Procore.com. And if you want to subscribe to our channel, our YouTube channel, you'll be able to check out more episodes of Unboxed. Well, thanks again, and that's all we have for today. So see ya.